What if I told you that one woman's final words before execution became a prophecy that would inspire an entire nation's freedom? Today, we are diving into the extraordinary story of Charwe Iyakasikana, known as Mbuya Nehanda, the Zimbabwean spirit medium who became the soul of Zimbabwe's resistance against British colonialism and whose courage transformed her into a legendary figure whose influence reaches far beyond her lifetime. To understand Mbuya Nehanda, we need to understand our world. In the 1890s, Southern Africa was being carved up by European colonial powers during the scramble for Africa. Cecil Rhodes, the British mining magnate, had his eyes on the land that would bear his name, Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. The Shona people had lived there for centuries with a rich spiritual system centered on spirit mediums, individuals believed to be possessed by ancestral spirits called Mohundoro or lion spirits. These mediums were advisors, healers, and voices of ancestral wisdom who guided their communities. Among these spirit mediums, one name stood above the rest: Nehanda, the name of a powerful ancestral spirit from the 15th century Mohun-Motapa Empire. Mbuya Nehanda was born around the 1840s in the Mazawe region. By 1896, the Shona and Ndebele peoples had had enough. The British South Africa Company had seized land, imposed harsh taxes, forced labor on indigenous people, and brought devastating diseases that killed cattle, the lifeblood of the community. Traditional life was being systematically destroyed, and this is when Mbuya Nehanda stepped into history's spotlight. Along with another powerful spirit medium named Sekuru Kaguvi, she became a central figure in the First Chimurenga, the first war of liberation against colonial rule. The word Chimurenga means revolutionary struggle in Shona, and this was exactly that: a coordinated uprising that would define Zimbabwe's resistance for generations. Here is what makes this so significant. Mbuya Nehanda wasn't a military commander. She was an elderly woman, a spiritual leader, but her role was arguably more important than any general. She provided the ideological and spiritual foundation for resistance, moving through communities and rallying people, telling them the ancestors were on their side and that this was just a war to reclaim their land and dignity. In Shona society, where ancestral spirit held immense authority, her words carried divine sanction. When Nehanda spoke, people believed she channeled the wisdom and power of their ancestors. The uprising was fierce, with Shona fighters using guerrilla tactics for months, attacking colonial settlements across the territory. But British forces had superior firepower, and by 1897, the rebellion was being crushed. In December 1897, Mbuya Nehanda was captured. Colonial authorities knew exactly who they had, not just another rebel, but the spiritual heartbeat of the entire resistance. They charged her with murdering a native commissioner named Henry Pollard, though the evidence was questionable and likely fabricated. Her trial was a farce. Mbuya Nehanda refused to recognize the colonial court's legitimacy, showing remarkable courage by standing before her oppressors and refusing to submit. Throughout her imprisonment at Salisbury prison, Christian missionaries tried repeatedly to convert her, but she refused every attempt. Why would she abandon her ancestors and Shona identity for the religion of her colonizers? On April 27, 1898, Mbuya Nehanda was executed by hanging, but here is where her story becomes truly legendary. According to oral tradition, her final words before death were prophetic and powerful.
My bones will rise again.
Those 5 words became one of the most powerful prophecies in Zimbabwean history. Fast forward to the 1960s and 70s, during Zimbabwe's liberation war, the Second Chimurenga. A new generation of freedom fighters invoked Mbuya Nehanda as their spiritual ancestor and inspiration. They saw themselves as the fulfillment of our prophecy. Our bones had risen again through them, through their revolutionary struggle against the Rhodesian regime. Our spirits marched with them as they fought for independence, making our prophecy a rallying cry for African liberation. When Zimbabwe achieved independence in 1980, Mbuya Nehanda's legacy was cemented as the nation's founding ancestor and spiritual mother. Her image appears on Zimbabwean currency, statues, and monuments honor her memory. In 2021, a massive statue was erected in central Harare, but her significance goes beyond symbolism. Mbuya Nehanda represents the power of spiritual resistance, the courage of conviction in the face of colonial oppression, and the idea that some spirits cannot be conquered, even by empires. She showed that resistance takes many forms. You don't need an army to be revolutionary. Sometimes the most powerful weapon is unwavering belief in the justice of your cause. Mbuya Nehanda's story reminds us that history isn't just made by politicians and generals. It is made by ordinary people who, in extraordinary moments, choose to stand up for what they believe in, regardless of the cost. From a Shona spirit medium in the 1890s to a national icon today, her journey shows how individual courage can echo through generations. Her bones did rise again, not just in Zimbabwe's liberation, but in every person who refuses to accept injustice, who stands firm in their identity, and who believes that a better world is worth fighting for. What do you think about Mbuya Nehanda's legacy and her role in Zimbabwe's history and African resistance movements? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into African history and the story of this remarkable spirit medium and freedom fighter, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next video. This is our story, remembered truthfully.